I never thought my life would take a turn like this. One moment, I was just a human officer assigned to observe alien diplomatic proceedings, and the next, I was standing in a palace that spanned 3 levels, filled with creatures that shimmered in colors I couldn't name, and facing an alien woman whose gaze could pierce through my very soul. Her name was Zythera. She wasn't just an alien of extraordinary beauty, she was royalty. The Queen of Varelia herself had summoned me to discuss her daughter, and when I entered the grand hall, Zythera's eyes were locked on me. I could feel the tension in the air. Every eye in the room seemed to weigh me, measuring me against a standard I had no way of knowing. "Welcome, human," she said, her voice melodic but commanding. "I'm told you are the one who will witness my daughter's choice." I bowed instinctively. "Yes, Your Majesty. I am honored." Her eyes softened slightly, though only for a fraction of a second. That brief warmth nearly betrayed my professional composure. But then I remembered why I was here. Zythera's family had a wish that involved me. The princess's confession. Zythera stepped forward, her presence magnetic, and motioned for me to approach. The other nobles whispered among themselves, but I could hardly hear them over the pounding of my own heart. She stopped a few meters away, her gaze never wavering. "Human," she began, "I must be honest with you. My family has arranged expectations for me. They wish for me to be married to someone who can strengthen our alliances. And they have chosen you." I blinked. My mind struggled to process her words.
Me?
Chosen by an alien royal family? I had never even imagined something like this could happen, and yet here it was, as real as the jeweled walls around us. I'm honored, I managed to say, but I don't know if I'm ready for. "You don't have to decide immediately," she interrupted gently, though her eyes searched mine as if she could see the hesitation in my very soul. "But know this, my family believes you have qualities that no other human or alien could offer. Courage, diplomacy, and kindness. The weight of duty." Over the next few days, I was swept into the life of Varelia's royal palace. I learned their customs, the subtleties of their etiquette, and the delicate politics that governed their alliances. I witnessed Zythera's grace as she managed council meetings, solved disputes, and even comforted those who had lost hope. She was strong, wise, and yet she had moments where she looked at me with an emotion that I could not name. During a private moment in the palace garden, she approached me with a hesitant smile. "Human, do you understand the responsibility of what my family is asking?" "I think I do," I replied carefully. "But I also understand that this isn't just about me, or even you. It's about your people, your family," and I trailed off, unsure how to convey the weight of a situation I was only beginning to understand. Her eyes softened. "Yes, and that is why I respect you. Many humans would have fled at the thought. Yet here you are, learning, trying to understand." It was in that moment I realized that my admiration for her had grown into something deeper. She was not just a princess to be observed. She was someone I wanted to protect, to know, to be with. The proposal. Then came the day when the decision had to be made. The grand hall was illuminated with crystalline chandeliers, casting reflections that danced across the walls like stars. The Council of Nobles, both alien and human diplomats, were seated. Zythera's parents, the King and Queen of Varelia, waited silently. "Human," Zythera said softly, approaching me with a certainty that surprised me. "The time has come. Will you accept the wish of my family?" I took a deep breath. "Zythera, if you are willing, I accept. Not because of duty, not because of expectation, but because I want to be with you." Her eyes widened slightly, and then a smile broke across her face, bright, radiant, and genuine. She extended her hand, which I took, feeling a warmth that I could not explain. The hall fell silent, as though the entire room waited to see her response. She raised her other hand, and I saw her parents nod in approval. "Then it is done," she said. "I am yours as you are mine." The room erupted into a mixture of astonished murmurs and applause. For the first time, I felt the gravity of my situation, not just the intergalactic significance, but the personal one. I was about to marry an alien princess, chosen not by coercion, but by mutual respect and desire. The wedding. The wedding ceremony was unlike anything I had ever experienced. The altar glowed with soft blue energy, the air shimmering with particles of light. Varelia's noble families lined the aisles, and diplomats from distant planets had flown in to witness the union. Zythera's gown seemed woven from starlight, and her eyes sparkled with excitement and a hint of nervousness. As I took her hand, I whispered, "You look incredible." She blushed, a delicate hue that no human pigment could mimic, but one I would recognize forever. "You make me feel safe," she replied. The officiant, an elder of Varelia, spoke of unity, trust, and the merging of destinies. When we exchanged our vows, it wasn't merely a formality. It was the acknowledgement of our choices, our understanding, and our shared commitment. And when we finally sealed our union with a gentle touch, the entire hall seemed to glow brighter. I realized that this was more than a marriage. It was a symbol of harmony between worlds, proof that understanding and compassion could bridge even the widest galactic divides. Life after the ceremony. Life after the wedding was a strange but beautiful adjustment. I became familiar with the rhythms of the palace, the alien customs, and even the unique food that Zythera adored. Every day brought new challenges, from diplomatic meetings to cultural lessons, but also moments of quiet intimacy that made it all worthwhile. Zythera and I often walked in the gardens, talking about everything and nothing. She shared stories of her childhood, her dreams, and even fears. And I shared my world, the one I had left behind, and the experiences that had shaped me into the human standing beside her now. One evening, as we watched twin suns set over the palace horizon, she leaned her head on my shoulder. "I never imagined I could feel this way," she said softly. "That I could choose someone not out of duty, but because of love." "And yet, here we are," I replied, wrapping my arm around her, "proving that even across galaxies, hearts can align." The ending. Months passed, and our union became more than a personal bond. It became a symbol of unity for multiple worlds. The nobles who had initially doubted me learned to respect my presence and judgment. Diplomats saw that cooperation between humans and Varelians could yield benefits beyond imagination. And Zythera, she smiled more, laughed more, and even allowed herself moments of vulnerability that were reserved for me alone. I realized then that marriage was not just a joining of two people, but the merging of worlds, the bridging of cultures, and the fostering of understanding in places where fear had once reigned. One quiet evening, I stood at the balcony of our palace chamber, looking out over the glowing spires of Varelia. Zythera joined me, her hand slipping into mine. "Do you ever regret it?" she asked, half teasing, half serious. I shook my head. Never. Every choice, every challenge led me here. To you. To us. She smiled, her alien features softening into an expression of pure contentment. "Then let's continue to make this galaxy better. Together." And in that moment, I understood the truth. Love was not just about hearts. It was about choices, courage, and the willingness to step into the unknown. I had done that, and in return, I had gained a partner, a queen, and a life that no human could have ever imagined. As the stars shimmered above us, I knew one thing for certain. We were ready to face whatever the galaxy would throw at us, together.